Separate. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to create this part number 1. So what you guys got to do is start a new part. And then start 2D sketch. Choose a plane. It really doesn't matter. There's many ways you can do each of these parts. You could start with a rectangle, for instance, on this one. You could start with your lines and trace this shape out. It's a little complex. I wish there was a little more dimensions I gave here. Oh, so you can do a rectangle. Start in this corner. And notice 0.645 inches is highlighted. Put in the width of this part, which is 1 inch. Don't hit enter yet. Hit tab to then get to the dimension on the other side, which is 3 inches long. Hit enter. If you mess this up, you can always go back and edit this to be whatever dimension you want it to be. Control Z goes back in time. You can do the same thing over here as well. Then what I'm going to do next is create this circle at the end of the part, and the diameter of that is 1 inch. What you're going to do next is trim. Trim gets rid of whatever lines are between there. If there's a dimension on it, it won't get rid of it. So you got to do delete, hit the delete button on it, and then trim it. And I don't know why it's doing that. It should delete. All right. Sometimes you got to try things multiple times before it'll work. You want to also put this circular hole in the center. You could do it as a separate sketch, but it's easier to do it right now at this point. The radius is 0.25. Finish sketch. And then what you guys are going to do is extrude this. Now, you have to tell it what to extrude because there's multiple shapes here. Do you want to extrude that? Do you want to extrude this or both? You want to extrude that. And the whole total height of this piece is 3/4 of an inch, 0.75. Remember, if you mess this up, you can always do a right click and then go to edit feature and change it to whatever it should be. Or you can just do a Control Z and go back in time. Next step I would do is a sketch onto this surface to make that rectangular groove. You can always add dimensions after the fact. So I'm just going to make it approximate, and then I'm going to dimension this square. And it's 0.13 from the bottom. And from each side, it is 1/4 of an inch. If I'm going too fast, remember this is a video that you can rewind. Sometimes that happens. Hit the delete button, retry. Some of you guys give up way too easily. 0.25. So finish this, and I want to do a cut, something I haven't shown you guys before. Extrude, make sure you choose it. Sometimes you got to choose it. And then you can take this and call it a cut. Now you can give it a value, or you can grab the arrow. That's what I like to do. Just grab the arrow. You can go either way with it. But this is a cut, and we want to cut through this. Doesn't matter how far you go, as long as you go through the piece. So we've got our groove in there. The next thing I'm going to do, and I wish I kind of done this first, but that's okay, is I'm going to then put this cut that goes across the front here. And this rectangle, you're going to cut it, so it doesn't matter how far out this way you go. But this cut is 2.5 inches away. And then from the bottom, it is that, let's see, 0.25. If any of these dimensions differ from the drawing, just go with what I do in the video and you'll be fine. It'll be close enough. And then you're going to cut this, extrude, click on what you want to extrude, change it to cut, and then pull it through. It already did that. Maybe yours will do this, so you got to pull it through there. And once again, you can always go back and edit these. You can delete them if you mess up. You can do a Control Z. And then the next thing that I did on here is I put a chamfer on much of it. Why am I not seeing chamfer? Oh, there it is. So I did a chamfer on some of it. Some of I did rounded edges. And the chamfer, I did 0.125. And you can just keep clicking the surfaces that you want to chamfer on. I just did that on these only. Hit the check mark. Once again, you can right click and you can delete it. You can do edit and change it to a different number if you messed up. And then the last thing, you want more of a rounded edge, which is called a fillet, on the rest of this. And 0.125 looks like that will work. And so just start grabbing all the different surfaces. And I don't really care actually if you guys get everything, but try to get as many of these as you can to get practice with this tool. Notice you can do these corners. I don't know if I did that on the drawing actually. It's up to you, but try to get as many as these can. All right, hope that helped. If you missed something, just go back and retry. And oh, good thing I showed you. So I used a bad size on that. Some of those could not happen because I made the fillet too large. So why don't we go back and change that to 0.1 maybe? Oh, I still didn't like it. Let's do 0.05. So see, there's always a way to fix this. And notice I didn't do these edges. I thought I did those. So you're always going to run into errors such as I am here. And so I would change this to 0.05 and go back and do all of these. Like I said, this doesn't need to be perfect. I would just want you guys to show me that you know how to use these tools. There we go. Not perfection, not identical to the drawing, but you can do it just like I did, and I'll be perfectly fine with that. Hope this helped you out.